For more on just energy transition, I'm now joined by Hilton Trollip, a research fellow in energy at the University of Cape Town's Global Risk Governance Program. A very good afternoon to you, Hilton. Thanks very much for your time. I was watching the Eskom briefing earlier. Lots of questions were asked around Eskom's, the Nersa's tariffs and how municipalities are also adding to the costs, of course, to the disadvantage of households. Now, we are told that the transition to renewable energy will bring relief to millions of South Africans. But as the president told that conference today, this is going to come at a cost of 1.7 trillion rands, and that's just for 5 years.
Good afternoon, Vuyo. There, in the electricity system, there are many moving parts. Even if we weren't having this transition to renewable energy and to distributed systems, we'd still have many things to sort out. So we have to fix a system that, as we all know, was in the process of breaking like a slow train crash. And at the same time, we have to embrace brand new technologies and brand new ways of these technologies finding their way onto the grid, and also how the electricity gets to households and businesses. So there are many moving parts. So it's really good that we're getting this Just Energy Transition Forum where different players can sort out their problems. Yes, what will be happening, there are two ways we can go forward. We can not invest in the new technologies, fall behind and fall apart, which is kind of where we were going until recently. But there's recently been some wonderful progress at Eskom and in the acceptance that renewable energy will be a crucial part of the future energy system, and that it's going to have to be put onto the system quite fast now. So this is great that the resistance to that fundamental change has gone, and we're embracing it. So now the questions, there's always Eskom, which we talk a lot about, the central grid, all the big power stations, how we get them reliable so that we can have the transition based on a fairly reliable, stable system. But now what the transition is going to involve, it's going to involve, let me just tell you something that is fairly agreed on by most technologists, engineers, economists. What is happening is that a combination of renewable energy, that's photovoltaics that goes on your roof, at your house, at your private residence, or at the shopping center, or at the factory, a combination of that renewable energy plus batteries is becoming more and more competitive with the grid supply. So we will need the grid for at least the next 20 years as we transition mainly to what's called distributed supply. But we also have to move across to that distributed supply. So that's the challenge that we're facing. Unfortunately, the current tariff system and the current governance arrangements are really designed for the old system. So we've had this new Electricity Regulation Act that the President has signed into law, and at the central part, in other words, around Eskom and big generation, things are starting to move smoothly. Now we have to deal with municipalities, and the key issue around municipalities, well, there are probably two key issues. The first one is we know that apart from a few well-run municipalities, on the whole, never mind the electricity department, our municipalities at a political level aren't stable, and also the administrative capacity has been undermined by corruption, by lack of skills, etc. So we first have to fix that up. And then when it comes to the electricity side of things, we need, as a nation, to agree on our future vision. What will municipalities do in the future? And there has been an unseemly conflict between, and it's none of these parties' fault. It's because we haven't resolved this vision. But Nersa, Eskom, municipalities, central government in the form of COGTA, the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, the old Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, now Energy, have not agreed on who should be doing what. And there are constitutional issues involved. So what I would like to say is to congratulate the President on this new forum, but that the presidency in Operation Vulindlela now needs to get these parties together to agree on a vision for the future. Do we see a lot of small municipalities that don't have engineers, don't have accountants, don't have basic services, each one trying to do this difficult transition? Or does Eskom get the distribution rights for these municipalities? So that's a whole vision we need. Well, then on the other side...
Do you think it'll be the former or the latter? Do you think it'll be the former or the latter? Because if we acknowledge the fact that the municipalities are not future ready with all the problems that you've so well articulated, what is it going to be? Because something has got to give.
So we are, I've been working in this, many of us, for many years, and we all agreed in the 1990s that all these small little municipalities, basically each one can't be expected to have an engineer and an accountant and a lawyer that understands this transition. So they are a special problem and they need help. And possibly some central agency such as Eskom needs to help them. So they need a solution. We need to admit it, that they need a separate solution. And the trouble is the Constitution at the moment gives each one of those the right to distribute its own electricity. The thing is, they don't have the capability, so they have a monopoly on not giving a service. So we need a vision for them. Then right on the other side, you need metro municipalities, like Cape Town, which is possibly in many ways more capable than Eskom to provide its own power, and it needs a solution. So central government needs to recognize the very different nature of different municipalities, and we need to recognize that it can't be a one-size-fits-all approach, and that we need a vision for the distribution. It's called distribution sector. We now need to work on a vision for the distribution sector and the transition. Very, very quickly,
Athol, because the President then announced that there'll be this funding platform, the Just Energy Transition platform that's going to be launched in the next few months. My question to you very quickly is that, does business collectively have both the appetite and the money? Or do we not have a choice here? It's a question of, as you said earlier, we'll fall behind or fall apart.
So what we're seeing is that business has the appetite, the capacity, and they're actually investing in electricity supply, renewable electricity supply to business, electricity supply to the big Munich, such as Cape Town, is getting its own IPs, and functioning municipalities, and to rich and middle-income households. So they're all getting sorted out. There's no problem there. The problem is with the poor households, which we have to protect and have special tariffs for, free basic electricity. They cannot afford their own electricity price fully. So we need subsidies there. And then the dysfunctional municipalities, about 100 of them at least, need special help. And business isn't going to just go and do that for free. So we need different solutions for these different problems.
Hilton, Trollip, thank you very much for your time and insights. Really appreciate it.